Hey, everyone, Coach Curtis Phelan here. Um, if you haven't seen my videos last week, please go back and watch them because a lot of this will make more sense. Uh, if you do that, I have as much light as possible in here, so hopefully you can all see me okay. I mean, I have two bright lights in my face. I think it's this camera on this computer. It's adjusting something so I haven't had time, honestly, to play with videos. So I'm gonna share knowledge content. It's probably going to look rough, but it's fine because my time is very limited. But I want to share some things that I just was called to share. I think it needs to get out there. I think people need to hear it. It's things that aren't openly shared. It's select groups learn some of this stuff. So I'm going to go through today. What are we talking about today? Today we are talking about uh, memory of your future. How can you have a memory of your future? Aren't memories in the past? Yeah, sir. So let's revisit. Our last discussion yesterday was about identifying your definite purpose, right? So if you haven't determined that yet, okay, that's your homework. Do that now. Stop this live. Feel free to jump off of it, but or do it afterwards. You can always go back and rewatch it, but figure out what you're truly called to achieve. What is calling you? What is pulling you? What is that thing that maybe your whole life has been like, yeah, I'm called to do this, but I'm afraid to do it. I'm scared of success. I have a fear of failure. I have a fear, whatever it is, right, that's stopping you, slowing you down, and getting in your way of following your calling. I invite you to first figure out what that calling is. What is that feeling, that urge, that desire that's just there? You're not sure what it is. Figure out what it is, because I want to alleviate any guilt you might feel around pursuing your purpose. Okay, so go ahead, because that's the first step of anything. So go ahead. I mean, if you don't do that, just life's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. And take it from me from experience. Anytime I've not gone after my calling, God and the universe let me know. I get punished. It's not that it's purposely punishing me. It's just things don't go very well. They go very wrong very quickly. Yeah. So, anyways, so go ahead. The world needs you. They need you to step into your calling. Your family needs you. Your friends need you. The people that you're called to help need you. Maybe you going through that hero's journey we talked about is going to change massive lives in the world. It will. Okay, so you need to step into that calling. There's a reason why it's there. Okay, now let's explore how to make your purpose, right? Once you've figured out what it is, how to make it a reality. Okay, so I recently came across a powerful phrase, and it reminded me of a lot of things that I do in coaching, just unconsciously, right? Unconscious competence at this point. I've done it for so many decades. But the memory of your future. So the memory of your future, and a lot of this comes from if you've studied NLP. So I was trained by Tony Robbins in NLP back years ago when I was one of his founding coaches, and one of the most powerful strategies that have stuck with me in NLP is it's a strategy where we basically imagine we're in a movie theater, and you can increase and decrease your desire to do things. You can change habits, change behaviors, change your identity, in this process. But it may sound, so the memory of your future, okay, it may sound paradoxical, right? But it's about creating a vivid mental image, right, of your future self. And when you choose your definite purpose, you need to create a memory of it. Okay, so the memories are created in our brain or visualized. Your past memories, they were created during the situation. You recorded it in your memory, but you can also go in and create situations that you aren't actually doing now, but you're doing in the future, and that creates a memory in your brain. If that makes any sense? Okay, so it works. Try it. Do it. So, anyways, so once you choose your definite purpose, you need to create memories of you actually doing that thing, because your future's created, today's created by your memories. Oh, I can do that. I can't do that, because you're recalling memories of when you didn't do it, couldn't do it, didn't step up, we call this learned helplessness, right? You go after something, you do something, it doesn't work, you try it again, you try it again, you try it this way, you try it that way, you try it this way, you try it that way, like Edison with the light bulb, right? Imagine if he gave up. But we can create this learned helplessness where it's like, why even bother? Why even bother? I've tried so many times. I've spent so much money. I've done so many things, and it just doesn't work. I'm just going to settle, or I'm just going to give up. I'm going to do something else, right? Well, what we need to do to change that is we need to create memories in our mind of times doing that thing, whatever that purpose is. So whether it's being a coach, owning a business, being a great mom, being a great dad, being a great whatever, husband, wife, whatever, being a public speaker, whatever that thing is that you want, you need to create an athlete, right? Athletes do this, right? Before they, so it's like a future memory, right? So, before they go and become an NFL player, right? They have visualized being an NFL player to the extent, it's like what Michael Jordan did, right? To go from, basically failure in basketball to one of the greatest basketball players ever lived, right? So he visualized himself winning and winning championships and putting on the ring. I mean, you got to make it vivid and real, okay? So let me make sure I don't put this later in my notes. Yeah. So, excuse me. So our lives, so I'll go over this in a second. But our lives are shaped by memories. I'm just reading some of my notes here. Often from our past selves, right? We tend to base our present capabilities on what we couldn't achieve in the past. So to break free from this, shift your focus from your past self. It's all about identity. Who we believe we are, our identity, right? What you believe, who you believe you are, what you believe you can and can't do, all based on your past memory. Who you're being, your identity, your subconscious mind, your brain, it will stay. Its job is to stay consistent with your identity, who you believe you are or not. Okay, so we need to change that identity if we're not getting the results we want in our life. If we want to shape our future to what we want, so I want you to, so imagine the person that you'll become to achieve this thing that you want. So whatever that calling is, here's the strategy. Okay, real quick. So one way to do this, okay, and you can use a movie theater, or you can, the next level is to, if you can, visualize it in reality in your brain. Okay, so if you want to be a public speaker, you want to be a coach, an athlete, whatever, think about that, that thing, that calling that you want to do. Let's just say you want to be a business coach, for example, okay? And you want to visualize in your mind, right? You close your eyes, you visualize in your mind. And movie theater is powerful. I don't have time to go into that strategy. It will take me about 30, 40 minutes to explain it. So let's just simplify it. The easiest way to do that is picture yourself as the person you would need to become, what you would think like, look like, stand like, breathe like, smell like, right? Visualize a clear picture like a movie. Okay, it doesn't have to be a movie theater, but picture it as a movie, as you being that person and doing that thing, creating that visualization. Okay, it's kind of like a memory of, it's a movie, a memory of what that thing will look like. Okay, but the clearer you can make it, kind of like a living movie theater, right, where you're in the moment visualizing this thing, right? So if it's a coach or speaker or whatever, you imagine yourself doing that thing and play it out. Okay, and the cool thing is you could even back it up a little bit to where you are now, who you are now, and how you approach this thing now, and then visualize the movie of you changing and morphing into that person, right? You were this person, and that hero's journey, you visualize that hero's journey of you going from this person, and then I did this, and I learned how to do this, and now I got clients or people calling me and contacting me, wanting me to speak, or wanting me to coach them, or wanting me to help them in their business. And you're visualizing that. And what would that feel like every day? What would be the expression on my face? What would that smell like? What would that feel like? What are the things they would say to me? What would I say about myself? What would I believe as this person? How would I stand? How would I walk? How would I talk? Right? These types of things. And you're visualizing this in your mind. And take that out to maybe it's you want to be a speaker and you're visualizing yourself on stage and you got thousands of people or hundreds of people, however big you want to be, on stage, and what it sounds like, and you hear the roars and the cheers and what you look like and what that feels like to be there, and maybe saying yes on stage or whatever it is for you when all those people go to buy your program, or just the changes you make in people, or if you're coaching, like I said, visualize coaching sessions where, someone they weren't sure if they should hire you, they hired you, and you changed their life, you improved their business, and they're just like, oh, thank you so much, you changed my life, right? And what would that feel like? And what would you believe about yourself now about, being that coach, being that speaker, that trainer, whatever, so you get the idea, visualize it. And I'll give you some homework there, but the more often you can do that and create more of those memories doing that, like if it's speaking on stage, visualize yourself, for 100 days, every day visualize one speaking engagement that you did, and it was powerful and moving and it changed lives, right? Or if you're coaching, right? Or you're creating a business, visualize yourself doing that every day, what that would look like. Spend 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes eventually. But initially, maybe 10, 15 minutes just visualizing what that would be like, what that experience would be like. Another great way to do this, and I've shared this before, it's called the 6-phase meditation. And one of the phases in the 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani, it has you visualize your future, like 3 to 5 years from now. It has you, and you spend like 5 minutes doing it, and then you visualize your perfect day. The more you can do that, that's creating memories in your brain, even though they're not real yet in the physical world. They all start in your brain. They all start with memory. Okay, so we can create those memories in advance, right? So, anyways, enough on that. So, so visualize yourself winning, succeeding, achieving. Marrying that guy or girl, getting that date, right? Whatever it is that you want, you got to visualize it first, that it's happening. That's going to make it a lot easier. So that visualization, the more powerful you can make it, the easier it's going to be for you to achieve your goals, because you're creating the memories in advance. Okay, enough on that. So what else did I have here? So one effective technique is the theater of the mind. I went over that. Close your eyes, visualize your goal as if it's happening in a theater. That's another powerful thing. You can imagine you're in a movie theater. Put it up on the screen. Now, this is more into NLP because you're going to see, where do I sit in the movie theater? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? Maybe you smell popcorn. Do I have popcorn with me? And you see it on the screen, okay? Now, when you get advanced, okay, in this, what you can do is, this is a magic movie theater, I always call it, right? What's cool is the screen or the seat or whatever works for you, everybody's different, okay? But you can pull that image closer so that you actually step into the movie. Very powerful, right? So you can start as a movie theater. That might be easy for a lot of you to do. Visualize being in that movie theater, seeing you as this character, this hero that went from this person where you are now to this person. See how they stand differently than how you stand now. See how they breathe, think, right? Because in movies sometimes we hear what do they call it? The narrator or whatever. What are they thinking without saying anything? What does that guy believe that guy or girl didn't believe before, right? See them doing the thing, achieving that goal. And then as it gets real and realer, rewind it, right? You can rewind it back and then get it closer and then closer until where eventually you step into that moment. And you're there, and you can feel it. And if you need to stand up and be that person, stand up, right? But imagine, the more real you can make this, the realer the mind and the subconscious will believe this memory, okay? And it will allow you to step into that eventually, okay? So it helps your visualization more impactful and authentic. Like I said, it makes it, when you feel it and experience it, it makes it more real and authentic to your brain. Instead of just like a bunch of, right, I can do that. So anyways, Maxwell Malt, he's a plastic surgeon. I heard about this, I learned about him probably in 2000 in San Diego when I was living. But anyways, he's a plastic surgeon, and he emphasizes the importance of self-image psychology. So our self-image dictates everything. Visualizing your success can reshape your self-image. Like I said, athletes practice this in their mind, right? Study shows that mental practice can be as effective as physical practice. So doing it in the mind can be as effective as physically doing it, right? One of the things I learned young, one of my passions when I was really young was bodybuilding, right? I was a lot bigger than, thinner, but bigger. But one of the ideas I had learned, and I'm trying to think, I think this might have been through Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody like that, but it was visualizing the muscle growing, visualizing working out before you're even in the gym. Not in the gym, but you can do it in the gym. But visualize yourself working out and feeling what it would be like to have your arms bigger, your legs bigger, whatever bigger, right? And who would that person be, and what would that feel like? And then you go to the gym, and it's like, holy crap, right? That's just amazing workout. So you can do this with anything, right? You can do it like before you do something today. Like maybe it's phone calls. Maybe you do sales, right? My phone's been going nuts. Sorry about that. I have a busy full day today. But you can visualize before you start making your calls, right? You got they call it, what is it, the 10,000 pound phone, right? Imagine, visualize yourself picking up the phone, who you would need to be like, what you would need to think about, what we need to believe in yourself. Imagine yourself saying some things that, the person on the other line, or if it's on Zoom or whatever, says yes, right? I'll buy your thing. I want what you have, right? If you can do that, the master salespeople in the world, that's what they do. They visualize the success before their day starts, and it makes it a lot easier. That 10,000 pound phone gets down to 3 pounds, right? So, anyways, enough on that. There was one more thing I was going to tell you about that. Well, anyways, Maximum Malt, you can look that up, but the idea was, people would come with, damage to their body. Maybe it's a scar they want to get rid of. They don't like the way they, look or whatever. He found that after changing that thing, nothing really changed for the person. Okay, because their identity didn't change, just their physical appearance changed, right? So it's what do they call that? I hate to use this metaphor, but it just came to my mind. It's like that fat person syndrome, right? We all have this like if you believe you're a fat person and you lose a bunch of weight, usually you'll see a lot of times they go back. Like you've seen these shows on TV where they lose a bunch of weight, right? And then eventually some people go back. It's because they never change their identity, their belief about themselves. They always visualize themselves as that insecure person or that fat person or whatever, right? Not that that's good or bad. It's just what it is, right? We stay consistent with our identity. So if we change our physical appearance and our identity doesn't change, we're going to go back. That's what we do. We stay consistent with our identity, who we believe we are, not what we pretend to be like or what other people tell us. It's what we believe, who we believe we are. I believe I'm a thin person. You need to think thin if you want to be thin. If you want to be whatever, you got to think that way. All right, anyways. So your homework is threefold. I got to jump off here. I have a coaching call in 10 minutes. But define your definite purpose, okay, if you haven't done that. Honestly explore your reasons for wanting this. And again, make it selfish, because being selfish in that will benefit others, okay? As we talked about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back yesterday. And create a memory of your future using the theater of the mind technique, okay? So it may seem a little unconventional, a little weird, a little hocus pocus, right? But the impact is profound, okay? So give it a try. You'll be amazed at the results. And feel free to like, comment, or share this. Or if you don't. But if you do, please do. Let me know. Are you getting any value from this? Is there something that I can improve? I want you all to get value like I am. This is selfish. I'm going through a course with Russell Brunson. It's called Secrets of Success. Pretty awesome. If you want a link to it, I'll send it to you. Let me know. Direct message me or comment below. I think you can get a 30-day free trial right now, or I can get you one if it's not released yet. Anyway, so feel free to do that. Thanks for being on here today. I really appreciate you, whether you're watching live or recorded, doesn't matter. And I look forward to our tomorrow. All right, guys, have a blessed day. Take care. God bless.